At this moment, I realized I had made a big mistake. You will find out what that was in this video, so it doesn't happen to you. This is the Cetus X, marketed everywhere as a beginner FPV drone. I also started with the Cetus X kit. The set is really cool because it's complete. You can start right away. No need to buy anything else, except maybe more batteries like these 550 batteries instead of the 450 ones. The extra capacity adds just 2 grams of weight, but you get more flight time and a bit more power. The frame itself is super durable. I crashed it so many times. Check out the crash compilation I've linked here. And the good thing about the set is that you can train with the controller in a simulator like Liftoff. Simulators are a fantastic way to get familiar with the controls and physics of FPV flying without risking real damage to your drone. Okay, but what exactly was my biggest mistake? Let's take another look at the DVR video from the beginning. The analog BetaFPV goggles can record the video signal on an SD card. I currently have a 32GB SD card installed. This feature can be useful for reviewing your flights and learning from your mistakes. The only downside to these goggles is that the recordings often have missing frames. I haven't been able to figure out why yet. Back to the video from the beginning. We see a crash, which is not unusual with this beginner FPV drone. The problem here is that the OSD failed. At this point, I knew the Cetus was done for. Not that it couldn't be repaired, but it wasn't the first time one of the 2 electronic components failed. But why not just buy a replacement part? Isn't that the easiest solution? Well, the problem is that I have the Cetus version, not the one with Betaflight. So, you're stuck in the BetaFPV universe. Being locked into a specific ecosystem can severely limit your options. The replacement parts are rare. For example, the camera module was unavailable for months and was quite expensive when it finally was. And only the specific C04 camera module is compatible with the BetaFPV flight controller. This compatibility issue means you're at the mercy of the manufacturer's inventory and pricing. The Cetus X runs light silver firmware, proprietary FPV copter firmware. There's the BetaFPV configurator, which lets you adjust the basics, but that's it. Through this tool, you can also install updates, but it's unclear what these updates include. You can't easily upgrade the Cetus X to the Betaflight version, because you would need to replace the flight controller VTX and camera. And then you might as well replace the remote controller since the Cetus X uses FrSky and the Betaflight version uses ELRs. The only thing I still use from this set is the analog FPV goggles. They have proven to be a reliable piece of equipment in my FPV journey. The goggles sit comfortably on my face. I use them for other tiny whoops, like my Drashark. The Drashark is a 1S tiny whoop with a carbon frame. It's much better suited for freestyle than the Cetus X. It also doesn't have prop guards, but I designed some that can be mounted. If you're interested in the prop guards, let me know in the comments. Looking back, I'm still quite happy with the Cetus X because without it, getting into the hobby would have been much harder. It served as a great starting point, providing me with the basics and sparking my interest in FPV flying. However, I strongly advise everyone to choose a Betaflight compatible drone when buying their first FPV beginner drone. The community is huge, and you can use so many components interchangeably without being tied to one manufacturer. Additionally, Betaflight offers many more customization options than the BetaFPV configurator. As you grow into the hobby, your FPV drones will get bigger, and sooner or later, you'll likely end up using Betaflight. If you want to see the Drashark in more detail, let me know in the comments. Or do you have a tiny whoop you can recommend to me? I'm always eager to learn about new models and hear your experiences. Check out my crash compilation of the Cetus X. See you in the next video.